Welcome everybody to the AFA, the Action Figure Arena. Here we review the talents of miniature warriors to prove to the world once and for all that you don't play with dolls, you prepare action figures for battle. On today's episode of the Action Figure Arena, we have the Jazwares Halo Spartan Palmer with accessories. That's what it says, with accessories. I prefer a different term, you know that. Part of the Spartan Collection. 10 pieces. I'm assuming it means ages 8 and up. UNSC embossed right here in the plastic. So the back of the package has a picture of the figure as well as other figures from Series 3, Master Chief, Spartan Mark 5, and Noble 6. This also has the accessories listed. Again, I'm gonna have to talk to these folks at Jazwares. These different SMACK-sessorize that we'll be looking at a little bit later on. So let's open up the box and get a closer look. So here's Spartan Palmer out of the box without any of her SMACK-sessorize. Let's get a height on her. She is standing right around 6 3/4 inches tall. Camera angle may not be properly picking that up, but that's how tall she stands. That's a tall figure. I'm assuming this is 1/12 scale. One of these days I'll invest in a motorized turntable. Let's get a close-up look at the sculpt and the paint detail. Alright, here we are, up close and personal with Spartan Palmer. Nice sculpt. Very feminine looking. Little bit of shine on there. Not looking too much like plastic. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but she's got some of her silver eye shadow, I guess. A little beyond her eye over here, and also down by her chin on her jawline. So a little bit of sloppiness there. Other than that, for the rest of the figure, I like the paint. Really kind of pops with all the different colors here. We got black, we've got gray, beige, we've got red. A lot of body armor on this young lady. Shoulder pads, forearm pads, elbow pads, butt pad, upper back. I don't know what these are, if this is supposed to be jets or something else. It's got a chest harness going. Also down by her legs she's heavily armored. Thigh armor, calf armor. Jeez. Some big calves. It says right here. Don't know if my camera is going to pick that up. Probably not. But it says right on her right calf here. Microsoft Jazwares LLC. And a lot of foot armor too. So she drops a battle rifle on her foot. Probably not going to hurt. So she's got some big ass feet. Making her stand is pretty easy. Nicely done. Let's take a look at her articulation. So unfortunately, Spartan Palmer has a neck piece right underneath her chin. And this neck piece extends right to the bottom of her hairline. So you get very minimal. No real head movement up or down. That's a shame. Similarly, nothing. No pivot left or right. Yeah, she can. Whoops, there goes her head. She just lost her head. So you got to be careful moving her head left and right. She can do that much. Shoulders go almost to 90 degrees to her body. We're getting some interference here between her shoulder pad and up here, this armor up there. So not bad. Shoulders can, or the arms can rotate all the way around. With as much armor as she has on, it's pretty nice. She can actually just about bring her arms to her sides. No bicep swivel, it's actually swiveling at the shoulder. She does have double jointed elbows. I'm a big fan of those. Elbows bend in pretty nicely, showing off her muscles. She also has wrist pegs that allow rotation, as well as moving the hand up and down, wrist up and down. Both wrist pegs do the same thing. She has a nice amount of diaphragm rotation, move left and right. Diaphragm bend forward, not very much. Bend backward a whole lot more. Not bad, again, with all that armor. Diaphragm bend to each side. Pretty good. Well, that was unfortunate. Thankfully, we could pop it back on. So if you wanted to kick forward, not quite 90 degrees, but we might be able to rotate the hip and get her to kick. Whoops, no, came off again. That's a shame. All right, so not quite 90 degrees. But again, considering all the armor she's got on, that's pretty good. And of course, I'm a big fan. Double bend knees. Her ankles bend way up. Toe armor gets in the way a little bit. That's still really good. She could point her toes down. Really nice amount there. As far as ankle pivot, her ankles rotate kind of strangely. You can't just bend it. You actually have to rotate the whole foot around before you get some pivot there. And actually, that's it. The ankles, the way they move left and right, they got a little pivot to it also. That's a bit strange. Upper thigh swivel. No real splits. Again, hip armor getting in the way. So despite being very armored, she has some pretty good articulation. Again, the head is really lacking. That's a shame. Can't move up or down. Can't pivot. That's really too bad. So the box says that Spartan Palmer comes with some accessories. I don't know, is Jazwares, do you guys mean this? You know, a dress, she's going, I don't know, to the market? Alright, this is more like it. SMACK-sessorize. So Spartan Palmer has a fair amount of armament here. She's got an MA 5D assault rifle. The only reason I know that is because the box says so. Otherwise, I'd have no clue. Nicely done. Intricate molding. Clean paint. Good contrast. Looks like this is a bullpup configuration. This is where the magazine is, but can't remove it. Not removable. Don't know what this chamber is up there. She also comes with two identical M6G Magnums pistols. Nicely done. Nice, very clean. Very sharp features. Now these also have what look like a peg hole. The pistols do. The rifle does. Right here. She comes with a helmet. Now to me, it's a goofy looking helmet. Maybe they're trying to make it more feminine. It's got an hourglass kind of shape. I don't think that's Jazwares doing. They're just following the character, how to mold it. Nice contrast, clean paint detail between the bluish silver visor and the gray on top. And I don't know what this is, if this is silverish, beigeish, I don't know. But again, nicely done. With the red markings also. Now she can't wear her helmet over the top of her head, so it's either head or it's helmet. We're going to see what that looks like in a minute. And she also comes with 5 other hands. She comes with 2 fisted hands, 2 open hands, and something I don't understand what this is. She's got her thumb and her pointer finger and her middle finger extended, and a ring finger and a pinky folded in. Now this is glued this way, so I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to signify, but nevertheless, the detail on these gloves are really nice. The hands, which are gloved, I should say. A little bit of padding in the back of the hand. The interesting thing also is that if you look at her more complete looking hand, for lack of a better way of saying it, the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger all have these pads. The tip pads as well as these knuckle pads. Pointer and thumb don't. They're all like that. I'm not sure what the reason is. If any of you can fill me in, I'd appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. In order to properly SMACK-sessorize Spartan Palmer, I had to upgrade her to the 1/10th scale KTM 1190 RC8. She was just too big for the 1/12th scale bikes. You see though, her butt's way off the seat. Again, not enough articulation here in the hip to bring her leg forward and onto the foot pegs. Her feet are way back here. But she looks pretty good on it. The only problem is she can't look up. So she's looking down. So she's a bit of a road hazard. So yeah, she's a bit too big for the 12th scale bikes, but she seems to fit the 10th scale pretty nicely. What about a dirt bike? And if we chose to SMACK-sessorize Spartan Palmer with a 1/10th scale dirt bike, a little bit more suited to her articulation level, a bit more upright, still can't quite get her butt down on the seat if her feet are up on the pegs. But she looks good. What do you guys think? Dirt bike or street bike for Spartan Palmer? Let me know in the comments. So while I was getting her helmet on, I just figured out a couple things. I'll go over those, but her helmeted head, this by the way, is pretty awesome looking. Except, again, for that hourglass shaped helmet. Not a big fan of that. This head offers a lot more range of motion than the original, the human head, or the unhelmeted head. Can look down, decent amount. Looks up, slightly. Tiny bit of head movement, or pivot. And you can turn it side to side. The helmet sits up higher, so it's not going to hit her armor up here and knock it off as it does with the unhelmeted head. I think I just figured out, I was about to complain that the SMACK-sessories have pegs. I was wondering, where in the world are they going to go? Well, there goes that. There's an opening here on her thigh, peg hole here on her other thigh, and then on her back, right there. So I'd imagine, so we've got 3 tiny little, I guess, pegs, for lack of a better word. These 2 came from her thighs, this one from her back. And for example, from her back, we just take the peg, put it in the peg hole. And you'll notice this has very
distinct shape to it. The peg hole on her back has a very distinct shape, you'll notice. So we'll have to orient this peg on the rifle so that'll just fit into that peg hole on her back. And there you go. She's got it slung very securely right there between these two pieces on her back. And likewise with the pistols, you got to take the peg from her thigh, orient it in a certain way so that it'll then fit back in her thigh. All right. Well, that's weird. That's very strange. We should really have a peg hole on the other side. We got to stow this pistol almost like in a cross draw configuration. She's got to reach around. She can even reach it. That's strange. This one's alright. Can she reach her rifle? Sort of. Kinda, sorta. Armor gets in the way again. She might be able to reach behind herself. Not an easy task. Not an easy task at all. See, I'm not sure what's up. We really need a peg hole over here on this side for this pistol to flip it around so it could be stored like this. Here's Spartan Palmer wielding her two M6G Magnum pistols. One thing I didn't mention earlier, the fingers on all of her hands. They're very, very pliable, and they're not stuck together either, which is nice. So I was able to very securely get her to grip her pistols. And I think I've solved the mystery of no padding on the thumb or the forefinger, just so they don't get in the way of her pulling the trigger or something. The other gun, got her pinky hanging outside, down below the grip. She does a nice job gripping those pistols, though. Here's Spartan Palmer with her rifle at the ready. She grips it well with those gripping hands. And here's Spartan Palmer looking down the barrel of her MA5D assault rifle, getting ready to take her shot. So she holds her rifle quite well also. Looks good with it.
We've seen her articulation. Let's see how she does in the action figure arena. Oh boy, he obviously learned nothing from getting his ass kicked by Lady J. Come to daddy. Jab. Hook. Uppercut. Head kick.
So what have we learned today at the action figure arena about the Halo Spartan Palmer by Jazwares figure? Imposing looking figure, probably 1/12 scale I'm guessing, but she stands almost 7 inches tall. A lot of armor. Despite all of that, she has some pretty good articulation, better articulation than some unarmored figures. So I was pretty pleased with all that. The helmeted head works better as far as movement than the human head. And yes, I know most people would have the helmet here and the human head there. I just thought this would look like she just, grabbed the head and yanked it off of one of her victims. Anyway, comes with a nice set of SMACK-sessorize, some good armament. Nice set of hands for different poses, holding different things, including holding your enemy's head. So, that brings us to a conclusion of another action figure review. Until next time, folks. See you later.
Hey everyone, I'm just starting out. And if you're enjoying my content so far, please support this channel. by liking my videos, telling your friends about it, and then subscribing. Thank you so much.